Okay, so here we are with Kat, who works for DC here, and she's going to be speaking here at the Cebu Entertainment Launchpad for the comic industry. What can you tell me about the comic industry as a woman in a primarily male-dominated industry?
That particular, here especially, a little lonely in the sense that there aren't really a lot of girls. I'm hoping that changes later on because I'm hearing a lot of interest from younger people. But in the US, there's definitely more women involved. Still not as much as I would like, but it's definitely changing.
Ooh, great. And I know there's a lot of issue with some of the way the art is drawn sometimes. Like it's like leaning towards over-sexualized stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's an industry that was started by men, let's put it that way. So traditionally, there's going to be some hard-to-break traditions, but that is starting to change. Like with Batgirl and stuff, they're starting to make character designs that actually aren't like spandex-based.
Yeah, like the new Batgirl, I think?
The new
Batgirl.
Yeah, and the characters are becoming, like, there's a lot more LGBT exposure, so it's slowly changing, but it's getting there.
Okay. Working for DC, what can you tell me about your favorite DC character?
I was a really big fan of the Batwoman run, the new Batwoman, but something happened with the writer and the artist that they walked out because it was an editorial decision that they didn't agree with, but that was my favorite run in DC while I was there. So,
wow. Alright. Are there any particular villains that you like? I know it's a common question about heroes, but I'd like to know what villains you like.
I'm a Gotham girl, so like Batman villains are always my favorite.
Yeah.
Always. You're supposed to be quiet. It's okay. But yeah, that's that. I'd say mostly people in that area. So a lot of the Gotham villains are my favorites.
I love how you make the old villains from the past, like the Riddler and stuff, a little bit more realistic.
Yeah,
recently.
and they're a lot darker.
Yeah.
Like in a good way, and like I really appreciate what they're trying to do with the material they have.
I understand like recently there's a lot of Batman games coming out. Are you also a gamer?
Yes, I am. I can't play some of the games because I get motion sickness, but my husband is an avid gamer, so sometimes I'll watch him play until I feel like throwing up, but I love the Batman games, so I'm a huge fan of that.
Right. What projects can you tell me you've worked on?
My first gig with DC officially was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So it's like,
wow,
men in furry underwear,
like
with no
by
t-shirts
the power
and armor.
of Grayskull.
Yeah, exactly. And then my favorite part of that job actually was they retold She-Ra. And they made her like this really badass dark character. Like she was like killing people and stuff, and she's not like Adora. So it was really fun. And then I got onto Batman after that, and I did covers for Superman and Injustice. So it got pretty fun after that.
So how did you break into the industry?
For DC specifically, one of my friends that I worked with got offered to do the short story for She-Ra's alternate telling, and he was like, "I'll only do this if she colors."
Wow.
So I'm like, "All right, that's cool." You know, so that's it. Ever since then, they're like, "Oh my God, we love you. Let's stay here. Come here. Don't leave." Okay, that's it.
From then on, it's been one straight road.
Yeah, it's pretty lucky.
But how can you? Is there anything you can tell our viewers and listeners out there about? If they want to try to get into the industry, how can they get noticed?
Get good at what you're doing and do not stop. Because a lot of people like discourage fan art. From a designing perspective, it makes sense. Because if you want to be a designer, you don't want to be doing the same designs as everybody else. But if you want to do Spider-Man, draw Spider-Man as much as you can and perfect it to the best of your abilities. And eventually, if you're lucky, they'll see it and be like, you know what? We think it works. We'll get you.
Wow. So, have you been able to? Is most of your work here in the country, or sometimes you get to work abroad?
No, I'm based here primarily. I haven't been back in the U.S. since 2007. So hopefully I'll go back sometime, but I kind of like it here. Food's cheaper, tastes better. So
That's good. That's good. What can you tell us about your most recent project?
Right now, I'm still on the He-Man comics, just mostly cover work because I'm multitasking with a lot of other jobs. So right now, I'm also working on Skyward by Jeremy Dale, which is an independent comic. Something from IDW Publishing is coming out with John O'More called Judah, which is a little tough on the palate if you're not into the biblical fiction being twisted kind of thing. It's really dark and lots of biblical references, but it's fun. If you have a sense of humor. That's about it. Like everything else is just pretty much in the works. Some things I'm not allowed to talk about yet.
Oh, sure, no problem. Okay. Great. I think that's it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Do you want to give a final shout out to anybody out there?
To my husband that was here earlier that is now sick, drink a lot of water. Thank you. And everybody, thank you. Hope you enjoyed the interview.
All right.
Fun.
Thank you. Stay hydrated. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was fun.
Thank
Cool.
you. Thank you. You want any stickers about?
Gloves.
Stickers about
We have a.
You're still recording.